ferocious nor'easter walloping the tri-state area and southern New England, with torrential rain and powerful winds causing streets to flood, downing trees and power lines. Coastal communities preparing for a potentially devastating storm surge. This following days of wild weather out west, where a phenomenon known as a bomb cyclone pounded Oregon, Washington, and California, becoming the strongest storm ever recorded in the region. 8 million residents under flood and wind alerts.
Individuals are stuck in a large amount of water here.
In San Francisco, powerful winds blew over semi-trucks like toys, submerged vehicles left abandoned in the road. Backyards turned into rivers, forcing evacuations. Other residents using any means necessary to keep the rising water out of their homes. The drought and wildfire-scorched ground unable to absorb the onslaught of rain. Hillsides turning into landslides. This one in Northern California cutting off access to a major highway. Nearly 100,000 people are still without power. Meanwhile, in the Midwest, heavy rain and wind causing surging waves on Lake Michigan, while tornadoes, some as powerful as EF3s, carved paths of destruction across Missouri and Illinois. The cleanup here just beginning as the powerful storm strengthens and moves up the East Coast. Residents now bracing for the worst. So New York City was accused of being flat-footed during Hurricane Ida. That's not the case this time around. Particularly when it comes to the transportation system, they've had hundreds of crews overnight at 50 different subway stations, making sure that those vents were closed off and that the grates above ground, including the gutters, were cleared out so that the subways didn't get shut down. Right now, they are actually up and running. You know, this rain is going to continue all day long. It's going to turn into heavy winds, 25 to 35 mile an hour gusts here in the city. Out on Long Island, 50 miles an hour. And the storm is going to move up through the Northeast all day long, and you're going to have those same conditions in places in Massachusetts and Maine. Guys, back to you.
Wow, Steph, thank you. Lots of our outage is high on. And it's coast to coast this morning.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're going to focus right here in the Northeast. We've got this nor'easter, so an East Coast storm that produces coastal winds from the Northeast. Check, that's what's happening today on into tonight. We've been talking about bomb cyclone out west. Well, we could be seeing that here in the east. What's a bomb cyclone? A cyclone, which when a system goes into what they call bombogenesis, that's intensifying with a pressure drop of 24 millibars in 24 hours. It's still too early to tell, but that could happen later on this afternoon or this evening, creating a possible bomb Easter coming up the coast. We are looking at heavy rain, flash flood watches and warnings for 39 million people in the Northeast of New England. You can already see that heavy rain moving up from upstate New York into New York and parts of New England, starting to dry out a little bit in Philadelphia. These two systems will merge, slowly intensify, and move away with the heaviest rain today into New England. Then tomorrow, it moves off the coast, but behind it, very strong gusty winds. So for today, widespread flooding. We're looking at this flooding that could be made worse because of the leaves that are down, clogging storm drains. So we're going to be watching that right throughout New England. Rainfall amounts anywhere from 2 to 4 inches, could be upwards of 5. The strongest winds are going to be along the New England coast, with wind gusts at hurricane force possible, and that will bring some power outages, and those outages worsen because, of course, we still have leaves on the trees, and those can come down, bringing down more power lines. We're going to continue to track this. Coming up, we're going to be looking at the possibility of a tropical system forming that we're building on off the coast of 2000.
Al, thank you so much.
Hey, thanks for watching.
Right there at the right times, plus 20% off your treatment plan. Welcome back your smile today.
The first nor'easter of the season is affecting more than 30 million people. Forecasters call it another bomb cyclone, and it's happening right after the first one blasted the West Coast. Flooding could cause trouble across the Northeast, with rain likely to fall throughout the day. We can expect 3 to 6 inches of rain, plus 40 to 50 miles an hour of wind. New York and New Jersey's governors declared a state of emergency ahead of the storm. Mola Lange is in Long Beach, New York, along the Atlantic Ocean. Mola, good morning.
Good morning. Overnight, this nor'easter began soaking the region with 1 to 3 inches of rain, still coming down. Some areas even higher. And, of course, wind, definitely a part of the story. Across the region, the rainfall steadily continues to drop, and conditions are expected to deteriorate throughout the day. A flash flood watch is in effect for more than 31 million people. In New Jersey, crews cleared drains and handed out sandbags to keep potential rushing waters out, and officials are hoping to be as prepared as possible to avoid a repeat of the deadly tropical storms. Remnants of Hurricane Ida hit the region this past summer when record rainfall killed more than 50 people. Many of those victims were trapped in their homes and cars due to the flash flooding. The severe weather that slammed the Midwest on Sunday has now moved here to the Northeast and is combining with the coastal storm to create this, the first nor'easter of the season. More than a dozen tornadoes ripped through Missouri and Illinois this past weekend. Devastating winds caused extensive damage to homes and businesses and a main electrical substation. This nor'easter striking today comes as thousands of people in California are still in the dark as a massive cleanup effort continues there. That system still moving east. It could be here as soon as Friday.
And Molo, you know it's tough when you have to use that plastic bag over the microphone. Thank you so much.
We're going to begin with that severe nor'easter, the first big one of the season. It is coming down outside here in Times Square and really all around this region. As you can see what it's like for drivers that are driving through the torrential rain right now on the Long Island Expressway. Let's go to Rob, who's in Virginia, tracking this for us. Good morning, Rob.
Hey, good morning, Robin. It is really coming down, both the wind and the rain, as our nor'easter here in the Northeast begins to crank up. But all this energy did come from the West Coast, and our friends there right now have been enduring some pain. Certainly yesterday with that atmospheric river that slammed right into northern and central California. Look at the rainfall and the flooding just west of the San Francisco airport. Not only do we have rain there, but we had winds that were gusting inland. And Mammoth had gusted over 150 miles an hour. Here's some tree damage in Fresno, and snow levels fluctuating between 5,000 and 9,000 feet. Boy, in Placer County over I-80, that was shut down for a time. It feels like the middle of winter there. Upwards of 3 feet of snow falling in Mountain Road. They'll take we obviously need the rainfall. We'll take it, but too much at one time is no good. Heavy snow into the Rockies. We have weather advisories there. Winds will be gusty. No, Southern California, Southern Rockies are still in fire danger. They didn't get a lot of rainfall with this, but we are going to get it here in the Northeast. Our surf line camera there in New Jersey showing the heavy surf. We've already seen flash flood warnings in New Jersey, flood rescues there. Winds could gust over 70 miles an hour in parts of New England tonight. Robin?
Oh, it's such a mess. Okay, Rob, thank you. I want everybody to take care. Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for...
Car accident? Call 1-800-411-PAIN. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. From home, hospital.
This is W7. We have a massive cyber attack now affecting gas stations across Iran. Now, these stations went out of service after people came up with their smart fuel cards and tried to use them in areas that have been sanctioned hit manufactured. These areas give people a reduced price on gasoline. And they're saying that there's long queues everywhere now because all these people that were using their electronic cards were getting error. Everything just simply stopped working shortly before noon. And the officials there saying that there was a message that popped up saying cyber attack in relation to all this. They didn't name a culprit behind this, but all fingers seem to be pointing toward Israel. Israel says that they believe this is a group called Indra, something like that, that they're not connected to Israel and not state sponsored, what they try to say. But they know a lot about them all of a sudden, out of nowhere. And the group seems to be attacking all of Israel's enemies. Even has a history of launching attacks on Syria. Well, here we are, with gas pumps being shut down, this whole thing being stifled. It's from this group. Pay attention. This can happen a lot of other places, not just Iran. What happens if it happens here in America? What do we do? Think gas pumps, think of work, things getting delivered, this calls more chaos, right? Seems like somebody likes that. We'll break this down further on the next live stream. This and a whole lot more. The censorship free will be live.